Coming up on St. George News at 5, a man accused of murdering his wife is released from jail after a major evidence delay pushes his trial back. Plus, a rally for better pay and safer working conditions has TDS broadband workers taking to the streets. And your daily weather forecast, all this and more straight ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, BWin Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. TDS broadband workers rallied in southern Utah this morning, demanding safer working conditions and fair pay that aligns with the region's soaring cost of living. Let's go to Jesse Bang to hear what these workers are saying and what's next in their push for change.
Wednesday morning, TDS technician employees gathered at the busy corner of Dixie Drive and 1600 South in St. George, standing together to demand higher wages and safer working conditions during an organized picket against TDS broadband. TDS technician and union representative Bobby Morrison told St. George News they're calling on TDS to offer a fair contract, raise wages to match the real cost of living, and invest in the people who keep the community connected.
Everyone knows we're in an area where we have to live off of two incomes, and even still, people are not able to survive off two incomes.
Morrison said he's been employed with the company for 7 years, and while he's seen some increases in pay, it isn't enough to keep up with the rising cost of living. TDS Telecommunications LLC responded to requests for comment from St. George News regarding the picketing and wage negotiations, stating that TDS has negotiated in good faith for several months to address concerns and try to reach a positive resolution. They look forward to achieving an agreement that is suitable for all parties. Morrison said he loves working for TDS and hopes a fair agreement can be reached so technicians can keep taking pride in their work and delivering quality service.
Just love what I do, love providing the service for the customers, making sure the customers have the service that they need. Like making it to where people can connect to their families, connect to the world.
Read the full story for additional details.
Major sewer upgrades are now underway in Zion National Park with the goal of protecting the Virgin River, improving visitors' experience, and saving the park hundreds of thousands in maintenance costs. We'll head to Zion next, where construction is kicking off on the long-awaited project that promises cleaner water, better infrastructure, and big savings.
Zion National Park's aging sewer system is overwhelmed and no longer able to meet the demands of millions of visitors each year, but that's about to change. Park officials say construction on long-awaited improvements will begin in August. The areas facing the most serious issues include the Weeping Rock Trailhead, Temple of Sinawava, and the Grotto Trailhead and Picnic Ground. Head engineer Tyler Hoskins had this to say.
We've been pushing hard to try to get to this point. So we're still pushing very hard, and there's an urgency to what we're doing because it has impact to the public in terms of their ability to use the restroom and to manage those facilities. Right now, we can't do that effectively with what's in the park. So it's very important that we get that taken care of and managed correctly so that when people come to the park, the visitor experience is a good one for them.
The first phase is on the east side of the main Canyon Road, which is the side away from the Virgin River. Crews will install a new sewer line from the Zion Lodge to the Grotto. Then the next section to be repaired will be from the Grotto to Weeping Rock. Matthew Fink, park spokesman, had this to say.
This project saves the park a lot of money. Currently, the park is expending $300,000 a year, both at using the porta potties up at Temple Sinawava and pumping the Grotto septic tank. And once all three phases of this project is complete, we estimate that number will get reduced to $5,000 to $10,000 a year. So that's significant savings for the park, which in the end will mean that money goes to other projects that will also improve the park.
For more details about the project, read the story. This is Stephanie DeGraw, reporting for St. George News.
Now we'll take a look at your daily weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. Right now, St. George is enjoying a sunny 97 degrees, with tonight's low settling around 69. Tomorrow, expect a high of about 100 and an overnight low near 69. In Mesquite, it's currently 101 degrees under clear skies. dropping to about 72 tonight. Tomorrow, the high climbs to around 104 with a mild evening low of 72. In Cedar City, the current temperature is 83 degrees and will dip to 53 tonight. Tomorrow's forecast calls for a high of 87 and another cool night around 53. It will be hot and sunny for much of our region with comfortable overnight lows, perfect for evening walks, but stay hydrated out there. Utah's reservoirs have dropped a dramatic 10% in just 1 month, prompting growing concern from officials who warned that another dry year could potentially cause serious trouble, especially in Washington County. Let's hear now how state leaders and local water managers are urging residents to conserve and prepare for what could be a challenging year ahead.
Utah's reservoir storage saw a 10% drop between June and July due to high demand and weak spring runoff. Statewide reservoir levels sit at 75%, down 14% from last year, but still slightly above average. Washington County reservoirs remain stable for now, with Sand Hollow at 80% and Quail Creek at 67%, though overall levels are down nearly 12% from a year ago. Officials with the Washington County Water Conservancy District say there's enough water to last through the rest of the season, yet are worried what may lie ahead if the region sees another dry year going into 2026. While no restrictions are in place locally, a 5-stage water shortage response plan is in the works. Proposed measures include limiting outdoor watering and incentivizing water-wise landscaping to limiting new building permits. With 100% of Utah in moderate to extreme drought, Governor Spencer Cox is urging Utah residents to conserve water.
Fortunately, because of our past good winters, we've been able to build up some storage, but that buffer's quickly eroding, and we just encourage people to please use less water. It's okay to have yellow lawns this year. We give you permission not to keep them up and keep them green. At the end of June, I issued a proclamation declaring a statewide day of prayer and fasting for rain. We need more than just good policy. We need hope, and from every corner of our state. Whether you share that belief or not, the message is clear. We all have a role to play in conserving water.
To learn more, read the story.
A St. George man charged with murdering his wife has been released from jail under strict monitoring after a flood of newly discovered evidence forced a trial delay just weeks before it was set to begin. We'll take you inside the courtroom as the judge weighs due process, safety concerns, and what this means for the high-profile case moving forward.
All right, so I'll grant the continuance. Now the harder question becomes the release of Mr. Samson.
A Washington County man charged with first-degree murder has been ordered released to home confinement following a major delay in his upcoming trial. Eric Larson Samson appeared before Judge Eric Gentry right behind me at 5th District Court in St. George Monday for a key hearing, less than 2 weeks before his scheduled jury trial for the murder of his wife, Nikki A. Sampson, in September of last year. Police were called to the couple's home last fall and found Nikki Sampson unconscious, bruised, and unresponsive. Sampson was arrested at the scene and had remained in jail without bail until now. The delay comes after prosecutors uncovered a large cache of evidence late last week.
All in all, I believe that we're somewhere close to 700 to 800 pages of documents that were simply missed in this case. I became aware of those documents as I was preparing for trial. Each of those documents are referenced in the police report, or summarized to some level within some of the supplemental reports in this incident. However, again, I acknowledge that falls on the state, that we did not catch those documents, did not provide those. Those have since been provided to defense.
Prosecutor Lane Wood said the oversight was discovered while preparing for trial and has yet to be viewed by either side. With this new evidence, Judge Gentry said postponing the trial was unavoidable.
I think it is probably fair at this point to release Mr. Samson. I do so grudgingly because I do acknowledge, as Mr. Wood points out, that many of the same concerns that the court previously stated have not been alleviated by the court, but the court finds that with the proposal of counsel, the court can alleviate those concerns, at least to a great degree.
The state argued for Samson to remain in jail, but Prosecutor Wood did say if the defendant was released, he asked that Samson remain on home detention, while Douglas Terry, Samson's defense attorney, asked that their client be released with monitoring for alcohol use. Judge Eric Gentry ordered Samson released on strict conditions. He will remain on home confinement, wearing a GPS ankle monitor and a Scram alcohol detection monitor, which continuously tracks alcohol consumption in real time. A status hearing is now scheduled in August to determine the next steps in the case. See the full story by Cody Blowers on stgeorgenews.com. Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more local news updates. And if you liked this newscast, you might enjoy one of these stories right here.